Hi everyone, Intuitive Edge here. Welcome to my channel once again. Thanks for joining me. I want to take a look at more of what's going on with the election coming up. So I focused on the major theme of October and the major focus. When I turned the card over, I got the Tower card. Now, I pulled 3 cards. The major focus, what's going to be happening around that, and what do we need to know? So what I get from these, what messages I'm pulling in, is that there's going to be some type of, the major focus for October will be around communication, communicating a message, telling the truth, getting the story right, people being able to speak. It's all about communication. It's all going to be centered here, the throat chakra, the essence of being able to speak and speak freely. That's going to be huge in October because I think there's going to be a push, an effort to silence voices in October. I do think there could be possible messages coming out in October of things that are false, that are widely spread, and the efforts of people to dissent or to speak the truth or to try to correct that false message are going to be met with roadblocks of all kinds. It's like pulling out the stops. It's like we're going to lie to you. The bad guys are going to lie to you, and we're going to block anybody from correcting that lie. I think October is going to be very vast in terms of political silencing of dissenters and stealing the narrative and preventing anyone from correcting the negative narrative and speaking the truth. There could be some cloudy things coming in terms of people trying to distort or poison the narrative, distort the truth. This here is really big. What do we need to know? This card, the imagery and the messages that come to me with this is these vines coming up around that sword. You can think of the sword as the sword of truth, but that vine coming up and trying to steal that sword away or to yank it out from the air, and it's all about the airwaves. Swords are about the air. They're the air sign in tarot. This is all about the airwaves, communication, what we speak, what we're saying. So there's a real push coming up in the next several weeks that is going to be probably unlike we've seen in terms of censorship and pulling out all the stops to speak a narrative and prevent anyone else from countering it. And the narrative is going to be, it's going to be false for one thing. This is Intuitive Edge again. That segment was from a video previously recorded that I was going to start to do my month ahead, and that project didn't get finished, so I'm tagging that onto this because I think it's pretty important what messages are coming through for October. And I didn't want to leave that part out because it seems as though things are going to get really interesting. Of course, we're going right into the election come November 3rd, and things are going to get a little crazy. As we know, everybody's crazy going into the election right now. Things are kind of crazy. So expect that. But what really seems to come through is that censorship or some event, a narrative coming out that's going to be false, and it's going to have a lot of pushback in terms of people wanting to correct the record and the airwaves for a season. I think it's going to be a challenge to get the truth out, okay? So let's look at October. let's look at the cards. So for October, politics. We have the 10 of fire using my cat deck. And oh boy, you can see the fireworks are going off and the cats are scattering and lots of confusion and all kinds of mayhem going on in that artwork. So we can probably expect much of that for October. On top of that, we have the Master of Manipulation card. We have the Cat Magic upside down. Now this is the Magician card, Cat Magic in this deck. It came in reverse. This is using everything you have at your disposal, like everything, and using it for dark or wrong purposes, or using your power incorrectly. I think there's going to be a push to pull out all the stops. There's a lot at stake in this election, and the powers that be that were, they're pulling out all the stops, folks. And this is an effort to control the election outcome, to control the narrative, to control what people say, what people think. And it's going to get ugly, I'm afraid. Just be aware of that. And just maybe a good thing is to turn off the news. Not let it consume you. There's a lot that I have to say about this. But I think that they are desperate, and it's like we don't care. We don't care what laws we break, because by the time people get around to prosecuting us, the election's going to be over. And they want to control the outcome of this election. And so they will break laws, I'm afraid. They will do whatever it takes to sway that vote. There's too much at stake, and a lot of them are just freaked out and scared because they know what's coming if they don't win. Okay. All right. Society. Society has this wondering kind of what's going on. This card came in reversed. This is like, there's so much going on that I can't keep up. And it's confusing, and it's frustrating a little bit. And this is crossed by a messenger. This is a messenger about an offering, getting an offer, getting something sold to you, or buying into something. This is a message society to be very careful and very choosy coming up about what information that you get, because I'm afraid, and I not afraid, but for lack of a better word, I'm concerned, I guess, that the information people are going to be getting is going to be very highly distorted. And so be aware of that coming into October. The information is key. Okay, so what's going to be in the news? Now, this card is interesting. We have the 5 of Sky. It came in upside down, but let me show it to you upright. The 5 of Sky. You see this Sphinx cat. They're a different breed of cat. And he's not very welcome. It looks like they're circling, trying to get rid of this person or destroy him or shoo him away. Now, sometimes I like to pull out the book that comes along with the card deck, and I paused the video a second ago and read this, and this is so good, and I think it really portends to where we're heading. So check this out. I think you'll find it interesting. It says here, other clans welcome newcomers, but the Sky Cats are suspicious of outsiders. Groups of young toms patrol their territory. I'll show it to you again. These street thugs are much braver in a group than they ever would be on their own. And coming upon the Sphinx cat, so different from themselves, their bullying is merciless. The Sphinx, who means no harm, must hope to find an escape and a warmer welcome elsewhere. It says the advice on this is you can't win a battle against those who have no honor. There is no reasoning with closed minds and no persuasion that will open up a closed heart. If you are the one who is bullying or caught up in mob rule, stop and consider your actions. Victory at any cost is a hollow victory indeed. Now it came in reversed. I just wanted to read it upright, but reversed it says, you may be dealing with the aftermath of emotions for some wrong that was done to you in the past, or clinging to the role of a wounded survivor. Identifying yourself solely through your trauma is an unbalanced way and gives away your power to those who have harmed you. Deal with what is happening right now and work on releasing hurtful memories. I thought that was very interesting because there is so much about manipulation this month and mental and emotional manipulation, especially the censorship. Like I said, these people that are going to be censoring don't care. They don't care because winning is the goal. And if they have to hurt people in the process, they don't care. They want to win at all cost. And so, yeah. So I think the key is to really lay low this month. If you want to speak the truth, you might have to speak it gently or speak it in person. Using the airwaves may be highly, highly volatile. And just be careful and be aware that censorship is probably it might come for some of us, especially some of the big voices that speak the truth and speak out. Ooh, yeah, they might feel some wrath this month. Now, the hidden influence, look at this. As a hidden influence, this cat is waiting outside that little mouse hole for a mouse to come out so he can pounce, okay? That's the hidden influence. There's people that are out for the pounce. They're out for blood, okay? Just saying. Now, I don't want to leave you guys feeling like, oh my gosh, this month, what are we ever going to do? Because I was very, very comforted by the next card. We have a major arcana coming out on what we need to know. What do we need to know? Because this looks pretty bleak. Now, what we need to know, we have the Grace card, Temperance and Balance. Now, focus on that cat. In the middle of the tempest, there's a rainbow on one side and sure, solid footing underneath this cat, leading the path, leading the cat through. So this is grace, okay? These people that are freaking out and trying to control, they're not going to win. We have this grace card that is going to lead us through to better times and a better place. But we might feel like we're in the middle of a tempest getting there. So hold fast and hold true to your convictions and lay low if you can, and know that the path will be open to us coming up, okay? Things will get better. The Temperance card is all about balance, things coming into balance that are out of balance. And those that are trying to control at any cost are way out of balance, okay? And the universe is not going to allow that imbalance to maintain itself. It will self-correct, okay? Now the outcome, I have a reverse 9 of fire. I'll show it to you upright. 9 of Wands. Now, you see these cats. This is kind of the wait and see card. They're plotting, they're planning. And it came in reversed. What does that reversal mean? Now, this card of waiting could make us feel a little unprepared. Upright, this is about planning, waiting to see something through. And there could be some challenges with that. This is about finding your people, finding your clan, finding who you're with, who's on your side, and maintaining those connections. For those who are on social media, especially who have a big presence, who have a channel or a big name out there, make sure that you divulge where else you are in case your channel is terminated or in case you go offline. I mean, there is so much resting on this election and the ability to control the narrative, to control the vote. There's just so much resting and riding on that. So plan ahead and find your people and maintain close connection with those people, okay? Now, intuitive messages that came to me as I was preparing for this video, I heard that there may be an event, like a mass event. In my mind's eye, when I tuned into where this was Eastern Pennsylvania, perhaps Philadelphia area. And I got a Boston connection somehow. So something east of where I live anyway, but east. And I heard like Eastern Township. So I don't know what Eastern Township is or where that is, but I was focusing in Philadelphia area, I think, or Eastern PA. And a town square, something about a town square, and I could see it as like a big square area that lead up with steps going up to a building, but there's like art and murals. It's like a town square. There's statues or things around there. And I got like protests and riots planned. I saw something being coordinated that looked like I could see somebody standing around this square. They're just kind of minding their own business, and they look at their watch, at their Apple Watch, and like right at an exact moment in time, there's an event that happens, and they plan it, they coordinate it. I got the number 4. And I don't know if it's like an ambush or a riot or some type of protest or something goes down. And it's designed to push a narrative. And I think this event may be what the subsequent narrative of we're going to control what people learn about this. It's like they want to push a certain narrative, and so people that maybe were eyewitnesses or, be careful if you're an eyewitness to this. I'm just saying that there's going to be a push to, no, it happened this way, and eyewitnesses may say, no, it didn't, I was there, and they're going to be like silenced, okay? It's like, no, we're going to tell you how this went down. So the news this month, I'm telling you, the news is going to lie its britches off. That's just what I get. So for October, sorry, this is gonna be a long video. There's lots of charged emotions in October. Be looking for a challenge and to be have your emotional chain yanked, to have your challenge of your sense of well-being. Okay, it's gonna be stressful. Let me look at my notes here. Will be particularly hard on those who are easily manipulated, who like, if you live, breathe, and die by the mainstream news, you're going to have your emotional chain yanked, okay? And if your emotions are easily played upon, you're going to get caught up in an emotionally charged issue. And those who can detach from the situation or detach from the programming, the nightly news, and those that can use reason and logic and critical thinking will do far better than those who are emotionally swayed, okay? The theme for this month is withholding of important information. So the news is not going to be about putting the news out there and letting people decide. No, no, no. It's about controlling every piece of what is put on the airwaves, okay? I feel like I'm like harping on that, but it's just the sense I'm getting for October. The truth needs and wants to get out. But there's a blockade, and the news media, unfortunately, is the blockade. They're not getting news out. They're manipulating what news we get. Trusted sources should not be trusted this month. It's not that they're simply putting out false info. They are deliberately blocking the truth and going to great lengths to prevent truth from reaching the public in significant ways. Okay. So no truth allowed. It's active censorship. I think all hands on deck for them. It's active censorship and it's game on for them. Okay. But just know with that grace card, just know that it's not going to win in the end, okay? These people are not going to win, but they're going to try like hell to win, okay? Just saying. Okay, let's see. What else do we have? Difficult truths, highly charged emotions. Again, our buttons being pushed. And it's like we're being pushed to the edge of our comfort zone. And even those that are emotionally swayed and easily manipulated, even they are being pushed. The universe is actually using this to guide them, to wake them up. It's pushing them to the edge of their comfort zone so that maybe they wake up and go, oh, maybe I'm being hoodwinked. And they are. Okay. Needing to grow up and face things, not be emotionally drained, learning to focus and trust, to transcend the hope, the learning to let go, and let circumstances connect us with the higher realms where the truth is and where the true you is, because nothing else matters. All that's going on down here is just riff-raff, okay? Riff-raff. October is going to be crazy, all right? Wow, holy smokes, we got a lot going on. So just know that we will get through this and it will get better. But just know that what you hear in the news is going to be fake, phony, and false for the most of it, okay? And I hope that doesn't get me banned. All right, love to you all. Take care and stay connected. We'll see you soon in the next video.